Hey YouTube, it's Rob here from the Homestead. Today, Midge and I are working on rafters, and you can see back up here we've gotten quite a few of them done, but we have to finish out the rest of the house. So we have just been taking our template and cutting out the last of the rafters. Midge was nice enough while I was at work to cut the top of the rafter, and then we have this template that we made quite a while back now, and we have one for each side because they are different on the tail end of the rafter for each side, and we'll lay the template out, and I think we have one marked out here already. So there's our cut right there for the final cut. That's where it's going to fit into the beam. Let me turn you around. Sorry, I hope I don't make you dizzy here. You can see how it fits into the beam up there. And on this side, you'll notice on this side, it is a plated. So there's a 1.5-inch plate on top of a 3-inch beam. And the reason why I did that is because I wanted these cross pieces to set on top of the supports. And you come over here and you'll see the difference. Sorry, I'm getting close to the camera here. This is a 6x6 over here, but we had those, a friend of mine did out those brackets for it to sit down into, and therefore the tail of the rafter is cut a little deeper. So it's 3 inches deeper on that side. And the reason why I have the plate over on this side, and it's only in this center section right here, but this was just an 8-foot beam that went across, and I wanted to give it a little bit more strength, so I milled out an 1.5 inch and a 16 that plated those two 8-footers to give it a little bit more strength. And the other thing that, sorry, I'm looking away from the camera a lot here today. The other thing that we're considering doing is to do a cable tie across this open section here, just to give it a little bit, the walls a little bit more strength from not being pushed out from the roof. And we do, yes, we do have rafter ties up here. You can see we have the rafter ties holding every other one, which should be plenty. But we might just overbuild the center section here with a cable tie that'll go between the two beams. With that said, we're gonna let you watch on as we do the final cuts on these tails. Like I said, we've already got the top cut done, and we do that on the miter saw. Now we've got to use the little skill saw and cut out. Oh, we're gonna move a beam here, or a rafter. We've got to use the skill saw to get this final cut here, and it's just the little Makita circular saw that I use, and then I have a Japanese saw that I just cut out that last little bit. So if you want to watch on for this portion anyways, you're more than welcome. So here we go. So last weekend I cut out probably 30 rafters with this and finally had to change the battery on it. It's surprising how long it lasts, and probably did some other cuts on top of that. And this right here was a recommendation from the Samurai Carpenter, and it really works well. I'm glad we got it. It saves a lot of time. If you haven't watched the Samurai Carpenter, that's a worthwhile YouTube channel. He does a lot of very clever stuff. So right now we're going to lay this template out. This is for what we call the wood side. So this template's a little bit different than the other one. And yep, I'm good. So the reason why we use a template is because if you don't, all the rafters are not going to be the same. If you use the template on one and then you use the one that you use from the template and then you use another one, it will eventually get off. It's like that game we used to play in school where you tell someone a secret and they tell the next person and the next person and the next person, and by the time it gets back to you, it's completely different. Well, it's the same way with rafters. If you don't use the same template all the way down the rafters, you'll start getting deviations. So unfortunately, I learned that the hard way. So that's why we do it the way we do it, and I think most carpenters do. And I'm not a carpenter. I'm just a guy that likes to try and build things, and I make a lot of mistakes, but I try and learn from them. Rarely do I make the same mistake twice, but sometimes I do. I'm human. Mitch laughs at me.
I laugh with him.
Okay, we'll go with that. I may have told you guys this before. On the last house we built, I had what I called the big bucket of shame, and it was a 5-gallon bucket that with all the nails that I had to pull throughout the build, and some of them were reasonable pulls, like if you had bracing and you got to pull it down and those nails went into the bucket. But a lot of them were mistakes that I had made, and I had to pull nails and rebuild stuff. And by the time I got done building our last house, that bucket was almost 3/4 full. So you're gonna see me doing a lot of screwing, not screwing around, but screwing with screws instead of nails. I still use a lot of nails because structurally nails they're more malleable. They move a lot better, and they don't shear like a screw will. But on certain things, I'll use screws, just so I don't have to fill a big bucket of shame. And most of those mistakes happened when I was framing walls, where I didn't get a window where it belonged, or I forgot to put in a door, or, you know, just little things, just little tiny things, nothing big. So, we'll go on to the next one. And then the last one is where we left off. Here, let me show you. Where we left off with this plate across here. I have to go 1.5 inches deeper on my cut. So that's kind of a custom build, and I'll do that on the last rafter. So with that said, I'm gonna let you guys go, and we will we'll get back to you here only for a second for you, but it'll be much longer for us. So we have all the roof rafters cut, and it's just a matter of getting them put up. We've got everything measured out up there. We'll have to do a ridge beam and get the lines marked out on the ridge beam, but we're not going to do that until we get it figured out on how long those 2 ridge beams have to be. But all the rafters are cut out and they're ready to go. Midge had a family thing this afternoon that she had to go to, so it's just me, and I'm kind of puttering around and watching all the traffic go by and taking pictures of the leaves, and it's it's been kind of interesting. I've had Callie inside because she just wants to go down and see everyone, and I guess this must be a great place to stop and get a picture of the foliage. I know those, we call them swamp maples. I don't know, they're like a soft maple or something like that. They've been red for quite a while, but the sugar maples are starting to come in, and you can see those oranges and the yellows and the reds all mixed together, and it looks pretty cool. So I am going to go in and edit a video out, I guess, today, and try and get you guys something out to watch. I appreciate you watching, and have a great day. Like, subscribe, have a great day. There you go. And more traffic. We hardly ever get stuff, any cars going by here, but here they are. So I'm going to put a little drone footage on the end of this video, so you guys can see our foliage up here. And if you haven't been to northern New Hampshire, northern Vermont in foliage season, and you got to do it because it is absolutely gorgeous. We live with it, and we're still stunned by it every year, how pretty it can be. So there you go. Like, subscribe, have a great day.